Welcome to episode 234 of Missing Pieces. This is my weekly audio journal podcast where I talk about what I'm up to and what I'm into. Recording this episode on Friday, December 20th, 2024 at 1:29 p.m. And thankfully for me, this week went by very quickly, and I think this episode will as well. And I kind of need that because I still have to wrap up Mrs. Brickitect, or Cody, as she's known in some circles. I got to wrap her gifts up before she gets home today because as of this afternoon, we're officially going to be on Christmas break, holiday break, whatever you want to call it these days. We're going to be off all the way up until next year, which makes this the final episode of the year. But for me to do this episode, I've got to rewind time all the way back to last Friday, right after I recorded episode 233. We went to pick Clarkman up at school, and Cody had to do a little bit of Christmas shopping, so we ended up going to TJ Maxx together as a family and had a nice time there, just shopping around, being goofy, of course. And then Clarkman had a request to go to Olive Garden. He loves the chicken yonki soup there, and I'm not a huge fan, but I go in support. I had chicken parm, and then I think Cody had shrimp scampi. She got a nice dessert. We had the breadsticks, the salad. I think that, honestly, like of all the things at Olive Garden, the salad and breadsticks is my favorite thing. Everything else, I'm just not an Italian guy. The only thing that I really need, and Cody called me out for this in the video, which if you haven't seen, you can watch our whole evening on Greg's World. She's like, you only like pizza? And I'm like, is there a problem here? Pizza is life. If I'm not eating pizza, I'm thinking about pizza, which is something that we did last weekend. We had kind of like a classic weekend. We didn't go anywhere or do anything exciting, but we did stay home and we built Lego, which is awesome. In fact, Lego plays a big part in this entire week and pretty much where I devoted most of my time. We built Lego together over the weekend. We had pizza, of course, and Cody cooked up all kinds of amazing stuff, including her world famous chocolate chip cookies. World famous to me. They're like the best chocolate chip cookies. Those with a glass of milk, it's just so darn good. So it was just like a nice weekend to be home. I, of course, documented that as well, but the weekend vlog I made a Patreon exclusive. So if you'd like to watch that video along with other exclusive content, and you can join our Photo of the Month Club, you can join us on Patreon. I like to throw it out there. We don't have any actual sponsors, so why not sponsor myself? If you'd like to join us over there and become a part of our Patreon Detector community, we're happy to have you. The links, of course, down below. Also, this video is brought to you by BetterHelp and Squarespace. No, Audible. It's not built or bought by anyone other than me. Speaking of building things, though, I talked about this week being quite a Lego intensive week, and it sure was. Clark and I, the set we started working on over the weekend was the Tuxedo Cat, also known to me as the UCS Mellow Cat. It looks exactly like her, and we started building over the weekend. We ended up working on it during the week as well together, and we finished it. Clark had to rush out to school, which gave me the perfect opportunity to bring Mellow Cat in, and I got an awesome photo of her sitting with the Tuxedo Cat, and it was just awesome. I was so thankful to get that. I'm going to make that the thumbnail for the video, which is actually going out today of that. We recorded over an hour of footage of us building this thing, kind of just documenting it as we go. There was 20 bags split two ways, a perfect build for multiple family members because the cat's super modular, and you don't need to be like, if you build a Lego house, for example, it's hard to, someone's working on the first story and then like you're adding to that. It's kind of hard to do, right? Unless you're building separate floors which stack up, which makes them modular. In this case, every part of the cat seemed to be independent of other parts. So if you sat down with like 5 people building it, you could literally have that done in an afternoon and it's all together and it's awesome. And if you have a Tuxedo Cat, you got to buy this. It's a great value. This is me selling Lego to you. It's a great value, but that's not all. Billy Mays here. No one does anyone even know what Billy Mays is or who that is? He's an infomercial guy, but that's not all. It's 1,700 pieces and it's $100. It's like a great value in Lego, but Clark and I built it up, got the shot of Mellow Cat during the week. It was awesome. We had a good time doing that, listening to Christmas music. Cookies may have come into play. It was a great weekend. And then it got even better because Sunday it started snowing. And then we had a 2-hour delay on Monday. So we had like a little bonus time. And not only are Clark and I building Lego together, we also game together, but we're playing 2 very different games. he's a Fortnite fan these days. So he sits at the PC where I'm at here and he plays Fortnite. And I play Red Dead Redemption 2, which he's invested in the story a little bit. Not a super great game for kids. I'm just going to put that out there. It's basically Grand Theft Auto in the Wild West. And I want to say I'm close to beating the game, but I'm in chapter 6 and I think there's like 20 missions left between the chapter 6 and there's 2 epilogues. The story is so good. I mentioned last week that Red Dead Redemption 2 to me is like that book that you can't put down. And now I'm like simultaneously excited to finish the story and to be done with it, but also I want to continue playing it forever, which I suppose I could. But there's just so many other games that I want to play and I want to get into that I like committed to myself that I want to get this off of my PlayStation because it's like 150 gigabytes or something like that. But the story is so good. It's a beautiful game. And like I'm coming around to thinking that this may quite possibly be the greatest game ever made. I talked about it before and like it's amazing. Like the world and the atmosphere and like how real everything feels and the choices you get to make and like the whole world is your oyster in Red Dead Redemption. And I just love it. I love this game. And it's like almost like one of those games. I've seen stories or like posts about this on Reddit where someone posts, and this would be a great listener feedback thing. Although I may not be doing listener feedback next time. We'll talk more about that at the end of the episode. You have to stick around. I guess I'll just say it now because I'll probably forget to mention it. The next episode, which will be in January, most likely is going to be my goals episode, which will be January 10th. Because Clark doesn't go back to school until the 5th, I believe, or 6th. But I might try to sneak an episode in there before that, just kind of recapping Christmas and such. I don't know if I'll be able to do that because the whole family's going to be home. And like I don't really love to take an hour away to do a podcast episode when we could be doing stuff together, right? Because I have to be like, all right, everybody, I'm going to be down in the studio. Nobody come down here. Nobody be making any noise because these guys... You want the most quality of audio, at least the most quality that can come from just a basic USB microphone. But so we'll have to see where things play out in 2025. I'm going to be contemplating my goals and all that. But again, I'll talk more about this at the end of the episode. Anyways, Red Dead still continues on. I've kind of been like Clark will go off to school and I'll just pause the game and then I'll come back in and I'll finish my mission. And it's become one of those things where I'm like, okay, I did that, but now I need to go talk to this guy. So I'm just going to talk to this guy real quick and then I'll save it and I'll be done. And then I talk to this guy and then something else opens up. I'm like, okay, it's just over there on the map. Let me just go over there. And you know how it goes. It's like that. You're just going to have one more chip or you're just going to do one more thing and then you end up like going forever. But I have no regrets. I love that game and I'm excited to continue playing that. But we're probably going to be jumping into a new game today, actually, which is called, I think it's called Astrobot or Astro something. It's the unofficial Sony mascot. I got the game a little while back and was looking for the right time to play it. It's a single player game, but Clark Man wants to do it together. Maybe we'll switch off as we're playing it. And we'll probably do that over the break and, you know, kind of see where things take us up until the day that Old St. Nick comes, because that's going to be a whole thing and there's going to be a lot to be doing there. As we're also going to be visiting Cody's family at some point next week. I think a few days later. We're kind of scheduling it out a little bit late this year. So there's going to be a lot happening here during break, but I'm just really looking forward to just hanging out with the fam, obviously doing the Christmas thing. And we get to have two because Bud and Deb are coming here for Christmas Day. I bought a really expensive ham this week by mistake. So we're going to be eating that, having a good time. Cody's making more cookies. So my weight loss goal completely shredded for this year, unlike me. And then we're going to go out there and have Christmas again. So I'm like really looking forward to this week. And the blues that I had, the winter blues or whatever from the week before last, I guess, maybe it was last week. I kind of feel like that's all gone now. There's so much to look forward to and so much fun to be had. And like, it's just a matter of getting through the end of the day today and then we're into it. So that is going to be a fun time next week. Of course, I'm going to be filming stuff. I'll try to document it. Maybe I'll make like one big like Christmas break video, or I might have to break it down. Might have to break the breakdown so it's not like a 3-hour video. But some people probably like that. In fact, you'd probably like this to be 3 hours. But I got Christmas wrapping to do. And this week wasn't that exciting because I spent most of it building another Lego set. The Tuxedo Cat was just one thing we were doing. That was the one set we got from Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Those came in and they instantly started getting built, including that. the Tuxedo Cat, Mellow Cat, but I also got the Countach, and I started building that. If you don't know what a Countach is, it's if you had a bedroom and you were a boy in the 1980s, you probably had a Lamborghini Countach poster on your wall. It's just this gorgeous car, and Lego made it finally, and I got it, and I decided that I was going to build it as a solo build this week because it's like the final week that I'm going to be solo until everyone's home. So the first day that I worked on it, I did a live stream. Building the first 2 bags took me about an hour, and I decided, hey, why not just keep doing this? So I did that every day this week. I did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. When did I started the last one last Friday, I think. So 2 bags per hour times 5 hours. I built 10 bags, and I did 1 bag off camera, the finale, and then I shot a video of the whole process that I'm going to upload. Probably be out to YouTube tomorrow. Yesterday, if you're watching this the day it comes out, the Mellow Cat video is going out today. So you hopefully would have already seen both of these things. But that was like what I was really working on. I was just kind of testing the waters with doing live streams, seeing how I feel about it. I have like this very confused relationship with live streaming. Like there's a part of me that really loves it. And like when I think about it, I'm like, oh, that is so cool that I can just go live anytime I want. I can build Lego and chat with people and have this experience. But then like there's this part of me that whenever I feel that way, I always go like really hard into it, like 5 hours of streaming in 1 week. And I don't know if you've ever sat and just talked to yourself essentially for 5 hours. I mean, there's some chat that's coming through, but it's mostly like this. And it, like doing this for 5 hours, or like say I did a Missing Pieces episode today, it'd be like me sitting down tomorrow and doing another one. And it's like you kind of run out of things to talk about. So I'm trying to figure out for 2025 as I contemplate my goals and such, like where does live streaming fall into that? Not only in Lego, like do I do a daily live stream? Do I do a weekly one? Do I never live stream again? Do I do 30 minutes a day? Do I do it Monday, Wednesday? I don't know. I don't know where I stand on it. I do have some things that I want to accomplish in Lego. I don't know if I necessarily need to live stream that though, because it's all about organization. And like, I just find another thing that kind of takes away my steam or my thunder, other elements, my fire from live streaming is it just doesn't do very well. Like I look at the analytics from the live streams and like, they don't really hit with the audience because most people come to, like, I would say YouTube in general, but Lego videos in general, where they're just looking for like an edited, like not short form video like TikTok, but like a normal video, you know, a 10-minute video, a 5-minute video, 15, 30-minute video. They don't want to see you sit for an hour and build like the middle part of a Lamborghini Countach poorly. So like from the analytics side of things, and maybe you're interested in this, maybe you're not, like, it's not doing anything for me. Just like this podcast, really. Like this performs worse than anything I do. In fact, if I'm having a hard time justifying the Lego live streams, the builds of the Countach are getting like twice the number of views as this podcast is. So if I'm sitting here contemplating whether I should spend the time and effort live streaming, what the heck am I doing this podcast for? All things to be considered over this break. Like, what is the future? Where do I want to go in 2025, and how am I going to do it? I got some time to ponder that. You're going to have to come back to find all that out, because even I have to come back to find all that out. I'm just gonna kind of sit on things and see how I'm feeling, right? And nothing has to be set in stone. You can kind of do experiments and things. If you want to live stream every day for a week to see how that goes, you can do that. If you don't want to live stream for the next 52 weeks, you can do that. I mean, the world is my oyster. I can go any route that I want. I'm just trying to, like, I guess, find that balance between what makes sense for me from a time standpoint, from a mental health and entertainment standpoint, balancing those two things, and from a business standpoint, the thing that I tend to like put on the back burner, where I do things that don't make sense financially just because I enjoy doing them. But I think that's okay in some cases, as long as you don't get carried away. Finding balance is the thing that I always struggle with. And that's why I can't just do one of things. I have to do that thing always. So yeah, that kind of happened. But the Countach is done. It's as beautiful as I had imagined it would be. On the box, it looks great. In real life, it looks fantastic. I'm pleased with it. And I'm happy to have that done. Like, it felt like an accomplishment yesterday when I finished that, and I was excited about it. Another thing that happened last night that I didn't have on the outline, but was pretty cool. I got an email from Hasbro that they had these new action figures coming out that are like Mix Mashers, I think is what they're called, or Mix Mashers, Mass Mixer, I don't know. But essentially, they have all these different characters, whether it be Optimus Prime, Mandalorian, Captain America, Spider-Man, and you can pull off all of their body parts, their legs, their arms, their bottom parts of their arms from the elbow down, their heads, and you can switch them all around. So the more of these figures you have, the more combos you can do. And I told Clark about this in the email, and he's like, I've been wanting this for years. I've been wanting a toy like this. So Hasbro was like, if you're interested, email me back. I did, and they came yesterday, and we did like an unboxing and opening for it. I think I'm going to put that out on Clarkman's channel, because that seems like that's like his audience, his demographic. So we filmed it last night, and he's going to put that out. I also finally, good Lord, yesterday I finally did my haul for all of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday video game things that I bought. I did the Lego stuff a while back, and I just been sitting on all this gaming stuff, basically waiting for like that giant pimple that I had on my face to go away. I didn't want to show my face like anywhere. That was a part of my thing last week too. And like, I feel like I'm good to do that now. So I did that. And like yesterday's vlog was kind of short. It was like three or 4 minutes, but I was doing all this other stuff on the side. You know, you do an hour-long live stream, you shoot 2 other videos. I could do the behind the scenes of that, but I just shot the scenes, and I'm just having a good time. Like this is what I really enjoy doing. So I have no complaints. I'm just trying to like figure out the logistics of everything, and like, how do I maximize this, and what other goals do I have, and how can I integrate that into video making? Because video making is always going to be the thing that I love to do the most, filming stuff and crafting stories out of it. In fact, I got an email from someone this week that offered to become my video editor for a fee, but I was like, and I mentioned this to Cody, and she's like, well, that's a big part of, you know, being a YouTuber is, and at least in my opinion, is editing the videos. Like, I'm sure they could do more flashy things than me and make it look really cool. But for me, this is a sculpture, and I take a block of footage and I turn it into something that I think tells a nice story or shares the highlights of things that is hopefully entertaining to watch. And like, I wouldn't want to delegate that to anyone else. If I did, I could be going crazy. I'd be vlogging endlessly. I'd be making Lego videos endlessly and just throwing it off to the video editor. But I think the fee was at like $50 per video. And I'm like, dude, like that's kind of steep. Maybe not for them. Like, say they spend a few hours doing it, but outside of like trying to grow your channel, to spend $50 to make a video, I forget what it was for a short. I was just like, dude, how about no? Scotty, don't. So I turned that down respectfully. What I didn't turn down, though, this week was some watch detecting. The YouTube algorithm came through. The algorithm gods smiled upon me. I don't know if it's just what's been on my mind and my heart lately, but I found this guy. I actually found the interesting way that I found him. And this is why I talked before about making videos that are searchable and relevant to people. I was looking at a review on this camera, this action camera. And this guy had this review, and he was talking all about it and why he didn't really like it so much as a professional vlogger. And I'm like, oh, you're a vlogger. Let me go check your stuff out. His stuff. Well, actually, this wasn't even from the algorithm gods. I fed myself this. No thanks, YouTube. Now they're showing his videos all over the place, but he uses action cameras quite extensively. And what he does is he has an e-bike with all his camping gear and all of his supplies on the back of it. And he rides his bike through Europe, all these different countries, and travels along the way, like whether he's camping or he stays at really cheap hotels and things he finds. He's always like stopping at stores to buy goods like food and supplies and things like that. And it's just fascinating to see some of how cheap things are. Like when you're going through Serbia, or he actually went to Ukraine on an e-bike, and I'm just like, dude, this is crazy. But he's also done stuff in the United States. He's a wacky character. I forget his name. I should probably write that down or something, because now you might be curious. One of the first videos I watched of him after watching his camera review, he wakes up in the back of his car. He also travels the US in his car and sleeps in it. He wakes up in his car in the parking lot at the Grand Canyon, gets out of the car, and he's a huge soda drinker. He fills his water bottle with Diet Dr. Pepper, and then proceeds to wear jeans, these just Walmart sneakers, and a leather jacket into the Grand Canyon, where he hikes all the way down sets up a tent there overnight after drinking out of the Colorado River, and then hikes back out. And I was just blown away that this dude was doing this. But little did I know that this wasn't his first rodeo. He had been all over Europe, and he's done all kinds of camping and adventures and stuff. He just didn't seem like the type. Like, he's kind of like a nerdy dude he's wearing a leather jacket and jeans and filling his drink containers with soda. He did not look like any other hiker out there, but he's a bizarre dude. And I just find him fascinating. So now I've just been binging all of his content of him traveling and doing all this stuff. And I'm just loving it. And I think about how I have this Netflix subscription or Disney Plus and Paramount or whatever, Amazon Prime Video. And I'm finding this guy who's filming his adventures riding an e-bike across the world, essentially, with a GoPro, more fascinating than any content that Netflix could put out. I don't really care about your newest murder mystery or serial thing or whatever. I just want to find out how this guy makes his way across, and will he find a charging spot for his bike? Will he get food tonight? Is he going to be able to camp in this location without getting kicked out? It's fascinating to me. So I've been loving this content, and I don't know, maybe it's just for me, but it's like inspiring me. I'm like, man, it'd be really cool to go off like that. And there's a part of me, it's like, I love having a family and all, but this guy I'm a little jealous of because he doesn't have any like commitments at all. He goes and does whatever he wants. I don't even think he has an apartment or a place to live. I think he just does it out of his car, and then he finds like cheap places to stay. And it's just so cool. But maybe that's just me from my place of comfort and security with my family here in my nice warm home, eating my wife's homemade chocolate chip cookies. Maybe there's a part of me that longs for a life of adventure like that, where you are sleeping in the back of your car in the cold, and then you jump out and you're at the Grand Canyon. It sounds kind of cool. But, maybe there is a balance there too. You don't always need to be at home in your comfort, and you don't always need to be hiking through war-torn Ukraine. You can find a balance between those things. Maybe do that like a weekend out of the month or something like that, like the National Guard. I don't know. It's just got me very intrigued, and I just really love seeing this guy's adventures. And like, it's cool because I was just saying in the live streams that I don't really watch many vloggers. Like, I vlog and I make videos like that, but I don't tend to really watch people that vlog. I really got into vlogging back when YouTube kind of was just starting, the people that started daily vlogging. And I loved it because I felt like I was a part of their story or their journey, probably like you are with me or us. And I felt like I was a part of their family. But then a lot of those people like got rich and stopped doing it. And I just never picked up again with like new people, like looking for vlogs. But so if you have any recommendations for people that vlog that you enjoy watching, because obviously you probably you watch our vlogs, so maybe you're inclined to watch vloggers. I guess it's hard though to recommend stuff because we all are different people with different interests and taste. And like me watching this dude travel across Europe probably, or maybe isn't anything that you would want to see. And maybe the thing that you watch isn't anything I'd want to see. But you never know when there's just like a diamond in the rough out there that you might find, or a hidden gem, if you will. And this was all found just because I searched for a camera. So what I need to do, write this on the 2025 list already. I need to start making videos that aren't just me like having a day, but like dedicated videos that are like product focused or something that someone would actually search for, not just like a title like Clark and I, or like 2-hour delay with my son. Like, that's not something people are searching for, but one that I see come up all the time, the Mellow Cat Heated Cat House. Lots of people find that video and comment on it because it's a useful video. That's what I'm saying. I just need to make useful content, not just stuff that entertains or encourages. I need to make stuff that educates. That one, another one that comes up is that printer video. Lots of people thankful that I showed how to print with the label printer because I had trouble with it and I figured it out in the video. And people are like, so that's how you do it. And I'm like, that's me being useful. For the first time ever, I've been useful. Speaking of useful or not useful at all, the mailbox situation, it pretty much came to an end this week. I got one quote before, as I mentioned, $3,000 for this mailbox, which in my mind, I would never, ever, ever, ever in any world spend $3,000 on a brick column that has a mailbox in it. Ain't no way, boy. Well, I was trying to get another quote because I was curious, like, is this guy that gave me this quote, is he in line with what it should be? This dude, I had to fight tooth and nail to get this quote from this person. He was like a no call, no show several times. Was supposed to come out like a couple other days and then it never showed. Just a piece of garbage, if I'm being honest. But the weird thing is, like on Google, he has all these reviews where people are like, very professional, did such an amazing job. And I'm just like, are these bogus? Are we dealing with the same person here? Especially considering like they're not working right now. So you think if I call with a job, being that he's not laying brick or doing masonry work or anything at all, it'd be super easy just to come out, look at the mailbox damage, and then give me an estimate, right? You could do that all literally from that spot, or you go home and you write it up and then you email it. This dude like never came out. He wanted photos of everything. Then he wanted more photos. And then he's like, do you have a photo of it before it was destroyed? And I'm like, no, I didn't really go out and take photos of my mailbox. I never really had a need to. I could have told him that I have a bunch of videos that show me putting stuff into it, like in the world of eBay. This guy was just such a like a slacker, it seemed. Like there's one thing about maybe being good at your craft. Like he might be great at making brick columns with mailboxes in it. But if you can't run the business side of it and the customer service side of it, which I feel like any time that I have worked on at this house on anything, I always struggle with this, where the people like never show, you never get a hold of them, they never call you back, which is why I'm like resorting to just calling people and saying, hey, I want to pay you a lot of money to do what you do for a living. Give me a call back if you want a lot of money. And a lot of money is what this guy wanted, because I think he is running a little scam on the insurance company here. And he gave me a quote for $6,000. And it wasn't just like an estimate. Like the first guy gave me this one, had like on his letterhead and it looked super professional. He had signed it. It looked great. This guy just sent an email from like his personal email. It wasn't even from like the company at, or whatever at company.com or whatever, or even his company's name at gmail.com. It was like his daughter's name, 2015 at gmail.com. And it just said what he was going to do. And then it had the price of $6,000. And I was like, $6,000 for a mailbox. So I messaged him again. I was like, hey, I don't think the insurance company is going to accept this. Could you make this look more professional by chance? And like, just to see what happens. And he did. And the only thing that he did with it was put his company's name in text at the top. And then he broke down how he was justifying the cost. And it was about $1,000 in materials and $5,000 for labor on a job that would probably take him, a day, 2 days, maybe less. So obviously if I'm not spending $3,000 on a job, I'm not spending $6,000. So ultimately the end result of this is I'm just going to put in like a really nice looking mailbox out there, just a normal mailbox with like a post and hopefully a sizable one that maybe I can fit packages in, something that looks nice, but I don't need a brick column for $3,000 because as it stands, the insurance companies already approved this. They're sending me a check for the mailbox to be replaced. I can do with it whatever I want. And I'm just going to get like you can get a really nice mailbox for like $200, like super, like that would look classier than almost everyone else that live in the area. I've been looking at mailboxes, trying to get inspiration, and I can't find a mailbox that I'm like, ooh, look at that mailbox. I don't know. I don't think it's something that most people really care about. Like a mailbox to most isn't a fashion statement or a sign of your wealth or whatever it may be when the brick people laid that first one. I mean, it looks nice with the house because we have a brick front and we have these other posts. It looks nice, but not $3,000 nice, like $500 nice, maybe $1,000 nice. It's just crazy. It is crazy. But that girl, she did a number on this, and I guess ultimately, like, we kind of win in the end. I'm going to make several $1,000s off of this, still have a nice mailbox, maybe one that even fits more stuff. It just won't have any brick going around it because I just can't justify it. And I can't find anyone else locally. Like I could call outside of our area, but then again, I'm just going to run into the same crap again where it's people just dinking around and not taking their business seriously. Like I think half of half of being a tradesman or whatever you want to call these people, if all you did was pick up your phone, be respectful to people. Like obviously it goes without saying, but like pick up your phone, come out when you say you're going to, even if it's not right away, give a proper estimate that's not fleecing an insurance company. Cause I know that what that guy was doing. He knew that I was going through insurance. It wasn't coming out of my pocket. So he was going to try to take them for everything they can. then that's another reason I wouldn't want to work with you. Because if it's this hard for me to get a quote from you or an estimate, and then you're also going to try to do some insurance fraud type business, why would I ever want to work with you? And also, what are you going to be like when you're actually working again? Like when spring comes around and all your jobs are lined up, ready to do, what's the probability that you're going to show up here and do the work? I just can't. So I haven't broke the news to him. I'm probably just going to ghost him. But if he messages me back, I'm just going to say, yeah, we decided to take another route. Thank you for your effort, which was minimal. Basically writing an email after me prodding him for 2 weeks. But yeah, what I was saying is if all you did with having a business was just answer your phone, come out, give an honest estimate, be good to people, and then do the job that you do for a living, you have it made. Half of it is just like showing up and showing up on time, not ghosting people and being a good person. How hard is that? Seemingly challenging, at least from my experience and all the things we've had done here. It's always been a nightmare anytime you need something done, which is why it just reinforces that thing in my mind where I hate relying on other people, because I just always feel like other people are going to let you down. So I always like to be in charge of my own destiny. I like to take control for myself. And maybe I just need to learn how to do everything. I need to learn how to do brickwork, and then I could just go out, buy a couple $100 worth of bricks and make a brick mailbox out there, which could be kind of funny, but also look terrible. I could practice with some bricks in the backyard, see how it goes, make a whole bunch of little columns out there. But yeah, that's the last time I'll probably talk about this. In the spring, you'll see a new mailbox out there that looks great. And yeah, I guess that's all I want to say about that. And pretty much all I want to say about this week. That was, I thought this was going to be a quick one, but somehow we still cracked 30 minutes of me ranting about mailboxes after all this time. Let it go, Greg. Let it go. Okay, we're done. Let's get into listener feedback for last week's episode. Last week's episode, I was kind of talking about being down a little bit, taking some time off. I made a comeback. It felt good. All that jazz. Let's start with Jenny, longtime listener. Well, longtime Patreon detector, former Patreon detector. She's on Patreon detector again. She's been a member of our community for a long time. I think that's the way I want to say that. She says, I'm glad you took time off for yourself. It's very important to listen to your body. Hope you all have a great Christmas and New Year. Same to you, Jenny, and everyone else listening if you're still with me on this. Yeah, I was just, when you're feeling down the dumps, I don't think that it's a good idea to like force things where you're just like, okay, I got to do this because I said I would do this, like make a daily vlog. But sometimes, just like with this podcast, there's been times when I've sat down to do this podcast where I'm just like, I don't have anything to talk about. I'm boring. Who would listen to this? This is worthless. Nobody cares about this. And then I sit down and I just start, like, I just talk, and then I get into the zone. And at the end of it, I'm like, I'm glad I did that. That felt good for me. But yeah, I think that's good advice, Jenny. Take some time off for yourself every once in a while. And this is the time to do it. Like the holidays, take time with your family. The only thing I plan to do from basically now until the end of the year is just document all the fun we're having. And I love doing that. So that's the plan. And editing that, of course, I'll have to find time to do that as well. But no big deal. Next one comes from DB Brick. Also a Patreon detector. He says, I completely understand where you're coming from with those rough weeks you get every so often. I know you said before you normally love this time of year with Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas in quick succession. Yes, that's true. I feel like there's always something to look forward to, which like keeps my spirits high. But then January comes and I'm just like, when does spring happen? When is yard sale season coming back? When can I go to Knoebels again? That's how I feel for the first 4 months. So this was like a premature jumping into the dark days of January, which I guess we'll be experiencing here in just a few weeks. He says, normally I very much have those low weeks at this time of year with shorter, colder, and darker days. I feel that. And I don't celebrate Halloween or Thanksgiving. Very little going on in the world. Definitely been a mixed bag so far this autumn, from the highs of the wedding the other week to the lows of yet more unexpected repair bills and even the unknown of storms that hit us last week, which thankfully ended up being slightly disruptive and concerning, but nothing worse. But with so much going on, it's meant that I just haven't had the time to suffer from sad this year, and I genuinely can't believe it's nearly Christmas already. Fingers crossed for you both and me, for me and you both, Greg, that January blues don't hit us too hard or too bad. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas if I don't catch you before then. You're going to catch us before. Well, yeah, you'll catch us before then. I think you've caught us before then, actually. But yeah, I feel you on that. I think mine was mostly weather related. I think it was just like every day in a row being dark at like 4 o'clock at night, cloudy, rainy, foggy. I just find myself like on a sunny day, I'm just like, that's like the days that I'm feeling good and I'm vlogging and I'm like productive. And I think that's okay. I mean, you can't be expected to every day be like, hey, it's the best day of my life. Some days you're going to be like, this day sucks, but just know tomorrow is a new day and maybe that sun will be out. That's all you need to think about. At least that's what I tell myself. That's life advice to me, maybe not to you. Don't take any advice that I have to give you unless it's about something that I've screwed up, because then I can tell you with certainty, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to put a brick column mailbox in front of your house. There's some life advice for you. Next one comes from Rob, the Canadian Geek. He definitely is Canadian, and he's definitely a geek. It's Rob, the Canadian Geek. That's his intro for his YouTube channel that he's starting. Rob, you got to make that happen. He says, hey, Greg, long time, no comment. I send my prayers to you and your family during the holiday season. Thanks, buddy. He says, this time of year can cause us to feel off. It's okay to take a week to reset. It's good to shake things up sometimes and step out of your comfort zone. As you said, faking it is not the answer. I just said that again. Am I repeating myself too much here? Lately, I've been going through some heavy life changes and getting university applications ready, getting scholarships arranged, and I even met a girl. Ooh, it just ends there. It's a cliffhanger. Rob met a girl. Let's go, buddy. Get that scholarship. Get that girl. Get those wins. Hope you have a great 2025, Rob. If I don't see you between now and then, as DB said. Next one comes from Janelle, who, according to YouTube, is one of our top 3 biggest fans, just based on comments and activity and such. Janelle, I can always rely on to comment on our videos, and it's always nice to hear from her. She's a great lady. She says, good Sunday afternoon, Greg. See, she watched on Sunday afternoon right when it came out. Says, between visiting my parents for 10 days and karate competitions, I have missed a few weeks. I wouldn't have missed watching my grandson becoming a black belt, black belt eligible for the world. I'm trying to speak here, Janelle. My apologies. Great job selling Lego. The sledding video was fun. We have never watched Jingle All the Way. Janelle, Clark is an expert mock builder, so I know that you can build anything. Don't sweat the mailbox. I'm not sweating it anymore. It's all good. Janelle's never watched Jingle All the Way. Oh, I don't know. I'm like worried because like it's one of those classic Christmas movies to me, but I worry that if I showed it to you as a new viewer, you would think it's like super whack and cheesy, like a lot of Christmas movies are. But I think your grandson might love it. I really do. We got to watch all of our Christmas movies. We still got to watch Home Alone 1, which I think Clark wants to do tonight. He had it all planned out. Like the last day of school, we were going to come home. I think we're having pizza for dinner tonight. Surprise. And then he wants to watch Home Alone 1. We got to watch Home Alone 2. We got to watch The Grinch. We got to watch Rudolph. We got to watch Frosty. Those can be done in like one night. And we watch A Christmas Story. Am I missing anything else? Sometimes you watch It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if that's one that these guys necessarily like, but it was one of my mom's favorite movies. So it was always on at Christmas and I enjoyed it. And that movie really gives you perspective, you know? Like when I was just talking about how, like, can I justify making these live streams and this podcast when no one seemingly cares? That's how George Bailey feels in It's a Wonderful Life. And he feels like his life was meaningless. He never lived up to the expectations he had for himself and all of his goals. He gave it all up in sacrifice of others. And what he comes to realize in that movie, spoiler alert, is that he had a huge impact on the town that he was in and all the people in it. And he just didn't realize it to the point where he was just like depressed and suicidal, essentially, like that his life was over. But it wasn't. He was like the most important person in the entire town. He just didn't see it. And, you know, maybe that's a lesson for content creators out there, that maybe if only a few people watch the thing you do, or if you get spoiled by the other things you do that lots of people watch, then all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, nobody likes this, but people do. You just don't always hear from those people. Just like this podcast. Tons of people listen to this every week. By tons, I mean a few hundred. And I don't hear from any of you. But obviously you keep listening. There must be something here that you like. Maybe it's just to cure your boredom, but there's value in that too. Have I helped you as much as George Bailey helped? What's it called? Something Falls? Shoot. Not Potterville. What is, oh gosh. I'm looking it up. Do I need to look? I'm not going to look it up. Something Falls. Let me ask Siri. Hey, Siri. What town does George Bailey live in? Bedford Falls. Thank you. Hopefully Siri didn't go off for you. Bedford Falls. Okay. So maybe I haven't done as much for my community in Lego or in podcasting as George Bailey did for Bedford Falls, but there had to be something, right? There has to be something there. Anyways, that's my response to Janelle. Watch Jingle All the Way. Next one comes from Sam, repeat offender, also a Patreon detector. He says, I'm quite shocked you're going to stop buying Lego. Shocked Pikachu face. It's something I thought I would only hear after my death. I think I'm going to go before you do, Sam. I think it's absolutely awesome, though, that you plan to not build offsets, but rather pure creativity. I always find that I love something so much more when I personalize it. Someone said that in the live stream, too. They said, there's no greater sense of pride in Lego. Like, it's cool when you build a Lego Lamborghini Countach and you're looking at it, it's like, that's crazy cool. But when you build your own thing, something about that just feels like an accomplishment. Your morale gets boosted. You're like everything about you, like you sit up a little straighter, you puff your chest out a little bit more. That's how it feels when you make your own stuff out of Lego, or just in general when you customize stuff. I agree. He says, yeah, winter tends to put me down as well. I already can't wait until April because March typically isn't spring yet here. At least you guys don't get nearly as cold as we do in January. I'm thankful for that. We'll take that. But hey, don't count out Christmas yet. We still got a little bit of that left if you celebrate such things. The end of December is still a good time, at least in my book. He says, Greg, I would just replace the mailbox. I think it'd look better with it, just in my personal opinion. Do you mean with a brick one? See, the thing is, though, I would rather have the money than the mailbox. That's the problem. But if the insurance company is listening, I definitely am going to replace the mailbox 100%. Actually, I don't think they care. They're just like, here's the money to make it right. We're out of here. We're done. And they proved it like instantly. So that was cool. I hope the community has a great Christmas. Let's make 2025 the best one yet. Isn't that a song? Next one comes from, thank you for the comment, Sam. This next one comes from Sally Wilson, which I have to say, Sally, I love you, but this comment, she says, Greg, sorry, but I told you so on Lego. You are selling memories to make mocks. That's okay. We still like you. Couldn't you sell them to Clark on time payments? He's making some money now. P.S. Are you making this move with Lego because mentally you feel like you might be really sick? What? I don't know. First of all, Sally, all right, I don't usually destroy people in comments, and I'm not going to destroy Sally because we love her. In fact, I have a letter from Sally over here. She always sends us things in the mail, but we're not selling memories, Sally. The memories are made. The videos are memories too. They're captured. Lego sets are just Lego sets. If this house burnt down tomorrow, let's knock on whatever we can here, and my family got out of here, those Lego sets are not anything. They're just items. They're products. The memories we made are within us and the videos. The hard drives, absolutely, I would save those. That would be like my number one thing in a fire. Those hard drives are out of here because I have all my videos backed up 2x on each hard drive, like primary, secondary. Those come out because those are like captured memories. Looking at a Lego set, like what is that? It's a Lego set. And as far as I'm considering things, the time that Clark and I spend building mocks and enjoying the Lego collection, the pieces we have, the parts that I need to process from yard sales of yesteryear, those are what's really going to take our memories to the next level. When we're building cool stuff together, I just think that's going to be amazing. Those Lego sets that are sitting in moving boxes that have been there for the last 5 years, they're nothing. They're just Lego sets. And I might strike a chord with collectors of things. Some people desperately value the collections they own. But for me, I mean, I love Lego, of course. Like I've dedicated a large part of my life and my business and my time to it. But I don't really love the collecting part of it, to be honest. I view owning all this Lego stuff as a burden, which is why I'm switching things up. And it's unfortunate it took me this long to come to this conclusion, but I'm glad that I did when I did, and it's only because of the space limitation that I have in this studio or in the storage room of doom there. But like, I just want, like, all I really love about Lego is finding deals on it, getting the hauls, getting the scores, like if it's at a yard sale or whatever. Getting gifts from Lego is always exciting. But like, I like that process. I like documenting all of that. I like building it. I like doing that with Clark. I like seeing finished Lego sets. But what I don't like to do is then have to find a place to either put that set or put the box and the parts. Like that to me, it's a burden. I just don't want that. So what I want to do with Lego is just enjoy the process. And with mocks, I feel like, you build something cool, break it down, build it into something else. Like that's what I did as a kid with Lego. We didn't have a ton of Lego sets or I didn't have a ton of Lego sets growing up because my parents didn't have a lot of money for such things. So I had a box of what used to be Lego sets that got melted down because I was a kid that liked building stuff out of my own mind, just like Clark does. And I would just dump all my parts out and I'd sit there for hours, like the clock would be spinning. And I could just sit there for hours and build with Lego and all kinds of things. And my adult pursuit of Lego ultimately was to recapture the magic that Lego had when I was a child. And what I am just realizing now is that it wasn't necessarily about getting a new set every day or every week and having all those sets on display or to have all the boxes in my storage room that I didn't have as a kid. It was about like the act of enjoying it. And I'm not enjoying having a bunch of stuff in a room that I'm not using. And I say that with peace and love to anyone that actually does do that. Like if you have, let's say, a Fisher-Price Little People room, Janelle, and if you walk in that room and it brings you nothing but joy looking around in there at all the stuff that you've collected over the years, keep it up. But if you walk into your storage room of doom, as it's called, and you see the stuff in there and it causes you nothing but anxiety and a feeling of being overwhelmed, that's not what we're here for, Chief. So I'm absolutely going to be selling a bunch of Lego stuff off. Like I'm probably one of the only full-time Lego creators, content creators, that's looking to have a smaller Lego collection at the end of 2025 than they have in 2024. Because a lot of it is about consumerism. It's about shopping, buying, building, all of that. But I feel like I can do all that without the holding on to of things. Because in my opinion, like collecting is somewhat like it can get out of hand, just like most things. And I think I'm on the cusp of that. So I'm just going to dial it back, and it is what it is. The way that I think of it, Sally, you know, it's selling memories. If I ever am like 10 years from now, if I'm ever thinking about one particular Lego set that Clark and I had so much fun building that I just desperately need to have that set back in my life and to rebuild it so I can somehow get those memories back that have been lost because I sold that set, according to you, I'll just rebuy the darn set. Easy as that, right? So that's where I stand on it. Again, I'm not trying to like be mean or anything, but I just, of all the comments that I've ever gotten Missing Pieces, I disagree with yours quite possibly the most, with peace and love. So, and all this, the other nonsense about, are you making this move Lego because mentally you might be really sick? I don't know what any of that means, but I don't think so. I think I'm doing pretty good for myself. I'm just trying to make good decisions based on the limitations of every person: time, space, money, and wives. So let's go on to the next one. I love you, Sally. Next one's from Lego Jasper. It says, I would love to be able to buy Lego sets from you, but I think shipping would be more expensive than the set, as I live in the Netherlands. Yes. There's never any reason to buy or send something internationally unless it's something super rare that you can't find at where you live. Because even sending something simple, like my buddy Martin, I sent him like a couple packs of, I think it was like two things of Pringles and some other little candies and things, sent it out to the UK. And it was way more money to send it than the items inside were worth. Like it was silly, to be honest, but it was stuff that I don't think he could get where he's at. So I did it out as a nice gesture, and he's going through some health stuff too. But yeah, it's super expensive to ship internationally, and there'd be no reason to ever want to buy my Lego stuff. But if you see something that's for sale that you're like, oh, that set's pretty cool, look for it on in the Netherlands, and I bet you can find it and get a pretty good deal on it, I reckon. He goes on to say, or she, on the topic of selling Lego, I sold a few sets after years of letting dust settle on them in the attic, and with the money, I bought a massive set I really wanted. Perfect. It's like the Lego library or Lego Netflix I've been talking about, where I might buy a set. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to buy any Lego sets in 2025. I'm just saying I may not keep any Lego sets in 2025. I want to buy a set, build it, enjoy it, make videos on it, maybe some live streams if I can justify it in some way. And then when that's all done, I take some pictures of it and I sell it as a used set on eBay. I lose a little bit of money along the way, but then I use that money plus some extra to buy something else, and we just keep that rolling. I might just always have like a one set rotation, almost like you're renting a book from the library or you're renting a movie from Blockbuster, if anyone even knows what that is these days. That's, I think, the move. I think I cracked the code to Lego collecting, which is to say I'm not collecting. That being said, when yard sale season comes around, even though I've said I don't need any more Lego, like I have more pieces now than I'll ever build with in my entire life, if some collections come up on the cheap, I'm of course going to be hunting. I can't resist. You can't take the Lego Yard Sailor out of the Lego Yard Sailor, okay? Next one comes from Nowhere Girl, who says, mysteriously, posted a long comment here and it's completely gone. Took a while to write, so I don't have time to redo it. Hopefully I didn't say something to offend you. I looked for your comment. I don't know what happened to it. YouTube deleted it maybe, but it wasn't in like held for review or anything. Ray has said this has happened to him before too. I don't know what the scoop is with that, but she says, I had a thought about that spot. She's talking about the terrible pimple that was on my face a few episodes ago. I think it's fine to be embarrassed over facial blemishes, even though we all get them. It can feel bothersome, probably doubly so when you're on camera. Facts. You could always wear a small breathable fabric plaster Band-Aid over any future issues. We do have like some Star Wars Grogu Band-Aids I could put on there. A mask would work too, although I guess that's a bit too much. Yeah, for making videos, I think if I was wearing a mask, it'd look kind of crazy. Unless it was like a complete Halloween mask, or a ski mask would be kind of interesting, to do a whole vlog in a ski mask. I'd suggest a lightweight concealer, but you're probably not into makeup. Ask Cody, ? Yeah, I've never put concealer on. I think I'm just gonna go with it. You know, no one said anything about it. I was the only one that made a fuss over it, and it probably brought people over from podcast world to just see the terrible thing I was speaking of. But yeah, why not just be yourself? And if it's on this side of your face, hold the camera on this side. Life hacks. But I appreciate the advice. Next time we'll do some crazy stuff. I'll just wear a mask the entire video. I'll wear that Darth Maul mask I saw at Halloween, Spirit of Halloween. Next one comes from Megan, also a Patreon detector and repeat offender. Funny story when you mentioned needing a trip to Florida. I still need that. A mom at the daycare I work at had her birthday earlier this month, and this is what she did that day. I kid you not. She left Milwaukee at 5:30 a.m. on a plane and flew to Fort Lauderdale. She got a day pass at a resort and did the pool, beach, Bloody Marys, chips and guac, beer, a massage, and flew back at 7 p.m. So maybe you need that. You can let Cody have her own day too. I actually think that's a genius idea. In fact, if we flew out of Philadelphia down to Orlando and I flew on like Spirit Airlines, I think I can get down there and back for like $88 if you fly on the right day. And my schedule is completely open. I was thinking, like, this is an idea for 2025 too. I keep mentioning Patreon detectors, and we've had some Patreon money coming in. So I was thinking, like, what if I use that money each month to go on an adventure? I don't know if it'd be the whole family, if it'd just be me, but what if I just took a couple days where I get a $90 or an $88 Spirit Airlines ticket, I fly somewhere, have some type of experience there, and then I fly back home and I document all that. And the beauty of it would be that I make that video a Patreon video. So the people that are supporting the channel, I use that to do a crazy adventure, kind of like inspired by this guy that's doing the e-bike trips. Maybe buy an e-bike and I e-bike across Pennsylvania. Although right now might not be the time for that. But then I create content off that and then I put videos back out for them to watch. I think that could be really cool. Like that would be neat. But I could totally do like the day trip to Florida. But the problem is where we live, it takes me 3 hours to get to the international airport in Philly. So it'd be 3 hours to drive there. I'd have to leave at like 2 o'clock. Well, if you're leaving at 5:30 in the morning on a plane, you have to be there probably like 4:30, maybe not that early even, because I doubt security is going to be too crazy then. But like, I'd either have to go the night before or like go really early that morning and then go do that. So I'd probably do like 2 days. I think that'd be great. But then like her move though, she didn't have to book a hotel or anything. I saw this other video that Clark and I were watching where this guy went to a resort. He had friends who worked at like Delta Airlines or something who got him a free pass because he said that he was his significant other or his life partner or whatever. So this guy gets to fly for free. He gets on a free flight, flies to this island. I forget what it was, but there was a resort there and he just walked on to the resort. It's an all-inclusive. And he just acted like he was staying there. He was like sleeping on the roof of one of the buildings and he made himself like a fake wristband or something. Eventually, after a few days, someone caught on and he like bailed. He just skedaddled out of there and then flew back home. But he did this all for free. And your story kind of reminded me of that. And I'm just like, dude, that's so cool. So like, I think that would be really neat. The only problem is like leaving my family. If I were to do like a solo trip, I feel bad because it's like, you know, I would feel like they'd want to come with me, but with the school time, things are kind of hard. And this is something I'd want to do like once a month. I think it'd be really cool. Just a couple days somewhere. See where I could fly. Well, those taking Spirit Airlines may not fly anywhere. They're pretty shoddy when it comes to stuff. In fact, we were waiting for an American Airlines flight one time. That's who we usually fly out of from there. Their flight's significantly more expensive. But this lady who was going to I think it was a wedding for her daughter in Florida, was flying Spirit the day before like a dummy, and they canceled the flight or moved it, so she had to like book on American, and there was a huge line there, and she tried like getting in front of everybody, and I was totally fine with it, like, hey, you got to get to your thing, like if you miss this flight you're doomed. She was trying to get through security, but the people there that were working like wouldn't allow her to do that, and I was just like, oh man, like that's the risk you take, I guess, when you're trying to save a few bucks. But hopefully she made it to the wedding. That maybe you should leave a little earlier too, I don't know. But yeah, it gave me like kind of an idea there, Megan, your thing there. Wouldn't that be that'd be a fun video, right? Flying from Philly to Orlando would probably be the place to go, because they have a hub there, and then just take a taxi to a hotel or somewhere in Orlando, stay there, go swimming, have some food, fly back home, make a video. That'd be sick. All right, 2025, jot that one down. Next one, thanks you for sharing the story. Next one comes from Evan. It says, Greg, I recommend playing the Spider-Man collection of PS5 games. They're a lot of fun and really enjoyable for the atmosphere, dialogue, and overall experience of feeling like you were Spider-Man swinging through New York City. He knows what I like about Red Dead. I have the Spider-Man for PS4. I bought it from my nephew Landon the same time I bought Red Dead. I think I paid $20 for each of them. Have not played it yet, but I know the two games for PS5 are highly coveted, like super like well reviewed, and I think I probably would enjoy that experience. Like I love open world, go and do what you want to do routines, and having the whole world to explore. In this case, New York City would be pretty darn cool. That's a place I could go for a day trip. Hop on a train in Harrisburg and go to New York City for the day and then come back. That'd be fun. I'd like to take Clark there though. He wants to go see the Statue of Liberty, and I want to take him to the Nintendo store of all places. Speaking of video games, thank you for the recommendation. 2025 would be doing some gaming. So we'll put that one on the list. Next one comes from Dusty Hansen. It says, Greg, it's almost Christmas time, and I would love to know your favorite gift you've ever received. For me, this one hits home with me too. He says, for me, it was the Home Alone Talk Boy. It sold out everywhere, and somehow I got it, and I love that I could record things and even use the slow motion button. This is Mr. McAllister, the father. Anyway, have a wonderful Christmas. I also had a Talk Boy. I don't think I got it for Christmas. Maybe I did, but I used it a lot, and I would record stuff all the time with it. I recorded like me, and then I recorded my neighbor girl that I was friends with, and we had all kinds of fun with that. And it had like a slow motion part on it, which he mentioned. It had a sped up version that you could do depending on the speed of the tape inside. And I loved it. Like I should definitely get the tape out and see what's on there. That would be one awesome YouTube video, because the tape's still in it. The original Talkboy tape is still sitting in there. And I'm like, when was the last time I recorded anything on there? I was probably like 10 maybe. It could be pretty neat to hear little Greg talking about whatever was in his life at the time. I really wish I would have had a camcorder or some type of camera back then. Like I'm super envious of Clarkman having the ability to record and document things that he's into. I would love to go back and watch those videos. We didn't have a camcorder, and I'm envious of people that did. It was just something that was expensive. And I didn't have every Lego set in a storage room in Doom. I didn't have a camcorder, but I would have, like, if I could go back in time, I would have, like, I wish I could. Do you ever think about this? Like going back and giving your parents or yourself something to have then? I wish I could go back and give myself like an iPhone right now, or the internet would have been great too. But like any kind of camera or camcorder, even if I could find one right now that was around at that time and then buy it now and have it sent back in time, I could put a request on eBay. Can you send this back in time to 1993, please? Thank you. Here's my address in 1993. Send it back. You don't need a DeLorean. I would love that. Question for next episode. Assuming we do one on January 3rd or January 5th, whatever day that Sunday is. What is something that you would love to send back in time to your younger self? That is a good question. But his question to me, and maybe you can answer this one too, two-part question. What was the favorite thing you ever got as a Christmas gift or most memorable? And what was something that you would love to be sent back in time that you could enjoy back then when you were a kid? My favorite, probably most memorable Christmas gift I've ever received was December 25th, 1990, when we got the Nintendo Entertainment System. I was 5, just about to turn 6, and that was amazing. Playing Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and having the controllers and the gun and all that. Set up myself for a whole life of playing video games that I'm still doing to this day, 35 years later, 34 years later. Crazy, isn't it? So that was probably my favorite thing or most memorable thing. I remember getting some Power Rangers. Oh, my parents, the one year, I wanted the White Ranger with the Tiger Zord, and I wanted it for Christmas. They didn't give it to me for Christmas. And I'm like, wow. But then 3 days later, there it was for my birthday. So I got scammed or, messed with a little bit, I guess. And having your birthday 3 days after Christmas, if I haven't said it before, sucks. So that always kind of came together. So it's hard to distinguish what was Christmas, what was birthday. I'm sure my birthday gift was just a Christmas present that got slid over. Kind of like once Santa Claus, if he ever stops delivering Clarkman stuff, it might be that way for us too. We might just end up taking some of his birthday gifts that we're currently getting and then making them Christmas gifts. But I feel like Santa's always going to come, so we won't have to worry about that. Speaking of not worrying about things, I hope you don't worry about too much going into the holiday season here, whether you celebrate or not. I hope this next week or two that I don't see you is a good one for you. Hope you have fun, whether it's hanging out with your family, eating a lot of food, playing some video games, building some Lego stuff, maybe all the above. That's what it's going to be for us. Getting to just enjoy being together and celebrating what we should all be celebrating, and that is having good times with those that you love. And you can celebrate anything else that you want to. If you're thankful for things, you can consider this like a second Thanksgiving. Just be thankful for what you have, because ultimately, nothing's guaranteed. We talk about 2025, and obviously my next episode, or maybe the one after the next episode, if I have some Christmas and holiday stuff to talk about, will be my goals episode. So while we can all have goals and big things that we want to aspire to in 2025, none of that's guaranteed. Your health, your wealth, your fortune, whatever it is, not guaranteed. So make the most of what you have now and try to soak it in and enjoy it, because you just never know when that's going to come to an end. And I just been thinking a lot about that this year, and really for maybe the past decade almost. I've been thinking about how the future isn't guaranteed and how I really need to just enjoy the time that I have. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I think that comes through in my videos. Hopefully it comes through in this podcast. But I want to thank you for always tuning into these episodes. 234 deep we've done this for. And it's been an honor to be here with you. So on that, I hope you have a glorious week, last week of the year. And as always, we'll find you next year in 2025, where I talk about my goals or Christmas, or maybe both. Have a great one, and we'll see you guys then.